On the 13th of March 1986, the UK newspaper The Sun ran the headline, "Freddie Starr ate my hamster."
That's interesting.
It became perhaps the most famous headline from a British newspaper in the 20th century, more famous in popular culture than headlines declaring the moon landing or the end of the Second World War or even the death of Elvis. And it led to a national conversation about why the 70s and 80s comedian Freddie Starr would want to eat a hamster. But there was a slight problem with the story. It wasn't true. Irrespective of that small point, he was frequently asked about it until his death in 2019. How did so many people fall for such an obvious lie? The answer hinges on critical thinking, or in this case, the lack of it. And it's a skill that we should all develop, not just to question tabloid headlines, but also because critical thinking is intelligent thinking, which will lead to better outcomes in almost all you do. You might have clicked on this video because you want to improve your learning, and we will come to that. But once you know how, you can apply it to every part of your life. Is there evidence for that, you ask? Yes, there is. Researchers have become interested in the topic recently. They've made some fascinating findings. Unsurprisingly, critical thinking is a powerful tool for learning, but it also benefits physical and mental health and has a huge influence over happiness, career fulfillment, and finances. People with this skill have better lives, and if you're wondering why, it's because better thinking leads to better decisions. Every day we are bombarded with a relentless stream of information. Click this article, play this game, vote for me, buy a new phone, choose this diet. And how do we process it? Usually intuitively. We go with a sort of gut feeling. And in many situations that works. If you're in a cafe and fancy the sourdough cheese ploughmans just because you do, then that's fine.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
If you're choosing a diet or a career or deciding who to vote for or trying to learn something, gut feelings don't really work. You and I have a set of beliefs about the world. They might be different. We are likely to have had different experiences. What we've been through and our reflections on those events and our reading, upbringing and educational background will have led to a worldview. And we're probably confident that our worldview is pretty much correct. We both know people whose view is slightly off, but not us. Ours is sound. We wouldn't fall for the "Freddie Starr ate my hamster" headline. Or would we? Well, we might. You're watching this video. Why did you click? Was it based on a reasoned and rational response, or was it emotive? Now, I know from the data YouTube gives me that far more people click on a title if it creates an emotional reaction than one simply stating what the video is about. What was your reason? I'm not immune to this. I will often click on something due to outrage or intrigue or some other emotion. So I'm vulnerable to judgment based on irrational emotive reflexes. What other opinions and ideas have I formed in the same way? Can I be sure that my beliefs and the person I think I am is built on the foundation of reason and thought, or emotion? Well, I don't know now. Oscar Wilde once said, "Most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives are mimicry, their passions are quotation." Could that be the case for me? And if it is, what can I do about it? Well, all of that brings us back to critical thinking. Critical thinking is your weapon against living a life of mimicry. But it's also a powerful tool for developing expertise, avoiding scams, making better health choices, career choices, and life choices. What is critical thinking? It goes all the way back to the Greek philosopher Socrates, who asked the question, how should I live my life? That's the Socratic question. And he developed a system for peeling away the assumptions behind beliefs to arrive at the ambiguity or lack of clarity behind someone's thinking by asking questions. Critical thinking has developed from the time of Socrates, but the foundations are the same. Use reason rather than emotion when you're trying to understand something or make an important decision. And fortunately, it's a skill you can learn. So let's see how to do it. Always question yourself, am I right about this? Why do I believe it? Could alternative viewpoints provide a better explanation? It's not about protecting your opinions, it's about challenging them. If they stand up to scrutiny, that's great. If not, develop some that do. What evidence supports this idea? What assumptions am I making? Are there alternative viewpoints or explanations? Where does the information come from? Is it reliable? Could it have been distorted? Can you find it elsewhere? Does the information provider have an interest in misleading me? Now, this is important. You know when you're online and you feel a sudden surge of anger or outrage? I use that as a signal to stop. When I instantly think, that's outrageous, how dare they? I ask myself, am I being manipulated? You can develop these ideas further for learning. Critical reading uses the same foundations, it's just a bit more forensic. When you're reading, ask yourself, what's the author's argument here? What assumptions are they making? Does the conclusion flow from the argument? Are the sources reliable? Critical thinking is a tool that you should develop and use as often as possible. It should become part of your daily life. Learn more about it, read books on it, and apply it as often as you can. Oh, and if you ever find yourself being interviewed for a place at Oxford or Cambridge, it'll come in very handy. For those interviews, they're not so interested in what you know, more how you think, and they will ask you many questions to see whether you're capable of critical thinking. If you are, you'll have a much better chance of getting a place. But even if you never walk through those doors, the ability to think critically will serve you for the rest of your life, and it'll ensure you're never tempted to eat a hamster or work for a tabloid newspaper. Oh, well, that's my dinner plans out the window. I'll have a chocolate lime instead.